Hello and welcome to the final of the 1v1 Knockout Cup that happened on September 9th, 2012. And in the final we got two very good players, Rock and Ganelin. Ganelin playing Seraphim, Rock playing Seraphim, so two Seraphim players. And what's really awesome is that they're playing the final on Settings. Of course, Settings a whole bunch of mass in the middle. And difference here, Ganelin going with first air on Settings. Actually, in 1v1 games, it's quite nice. It really screws anybody who rushes to the middle. You can take out the engineers because the ACU instead of building is walking. So those first few engineers are very precious. Looks like Rock going first to land. 5 pigeons. But also, if you just neglect the middle and expand, you're going to be in a big hole. It's a very fine balance, and of course, so much mass from both players and huge navies. In general, 1v1s are not played on maps that are this size. So here comes the bomber. A little bit after 1 minute. See what it can do for Ganelin. Looking at Ganelin, he sees absolutely nothing. He's about to see something. Seeing the entire base, no bombs dropped yet. But any kind of expanding engineers, he saw where these engineers are expanding now. He's going to kill this one. See flak now coming out for Rock. And it's very difficult to pay back here. That was a nice dodge there from Rock. Of course, if you lose any of these expanding engineers, it's a big problem. See, Rock was trying to dodge, but that didn't work. Because in order to kill some engineers with your mech marines or something, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Two very early engineers are supposed to get a lot of mass structures get taken out. You can't get any light assault bots to the other side to kill off engineers that you're losing because of that bomber. So Rock is in a pretty big hole early on. Yet another bomber coming out, and of course Rock has no clue what Ganelin's building. He can guess. I mean, he knows that he went air, but Ganelin saw everything from Rock. He knows exactly where the ACU is. Now the bombers will see exactly if there's any engineers trying to steal mass, and there aren't any. And there goes that flak. Absolutely brutal bombers. Still, none of these bombers have been killed yet. 7 kills between them. And there goes. That's 9 kills for the bombers. One of the bombers is now dead. And you can almost say this game is already over. I mean, it will take a lot of work from Rock to crawl his way back. But one advantage that he does have is his ACU is a little closer to the middle. We now see some interceptors from Ganelin. Probably no reason to do that. Well, actually, there is now air from Rock. And later on with transports, it could be very critical to have air control, but on such a large map it's hard to have air control everywhere. And you can see the engineers for Ganelin expanding to the back, something that Rock does not have. He's just got flak, looking for things. Oh, sorry, there was an engineer here that he snuck in, but a lot more expansion for Ganelin. Ganelin also with interceptors trying to protect him in case Rock tries to get some bombers in position. But once Ganelin gets these factories built, he's going to be in very good shape. So interceptor there from Rock gets shot, and now both players getting the middle mass. And then in terms of here comes a drop from Rock. Rock really needs to get creative and win all the other battles, otherwise this game will be very much over. He's trying to get a point defense, and there are some artilleries here for Ganelin, so he will be able to counter it. Meanwhile, Ganelin is just sucking up some mass. He's already claimed 4,500. Major power problems. Does have 3 engineers in the power spam. Ganelin, or Rock, half the power production of Ganelin. So he'll be very difficult for him to utilize the mass that he's going to get. He only got 700 reclaimed. So basically, by every single parameter, Rock is screwed. More bombers coming in from Ganelin. He's going to try to pick off more engineers. Engineer going to the back for Rock. Rock, once he gets that factory, it'll be very nice for him. Let's see if that bomber actually survives. Nope. Engineer protected successfully. Rock saves his point defense. Rock has an energy here reclaiming Ganelon. Can always go in the water. So Rock with his point defense might... oh, he just lost it. And a major force rolling through, so all these mass that Rock should have probably held on to, he might not get to keep it. You see a major land spam now from Ganelon. This is minute 8. Pretty big land spam from Rock as well. Successful drop for Rock. They tried to get a secret base in Navy started by Ganelon. And actually Rock pushed from the middle. It looks like all these tanks that went through are going to be killed by Rock. But a secondary force coming in and Ganelon is going to clean up. Reclamation is still a big advantage. 5800 for Ganelon. Rock 4500, major mass problems. It'd be nice to get some reclaim from. Now bombers for Rock. Rock with multiple factories already constructed. Bombers on the other side. More drops from Rock. Rock really putting pressure on this bottom base. Loses all the engineers, but a lot of flak here. We also see a drop, successful drop from Ganelon. I did not see this one. Most likely just around the side. Yeah, it looks like he dropped some on the island. It's going to be another secret base for Rock to deal with. Meanwhile, the middle pretty even, but Ganelon does have control over the middle, plus a couple more Tech 2 reclaims. A significant amount of mass if you wanted it. Ganelon here might just retreat. No reason for him to take any risks. He's really in control of this game. Another drop now coming in from Ganelon, minute 11. This will be an Artie drop. That's going to be absolutely brutal. No counters for Artie in this position. Scouts from Ganelon and tanks now coming out right away. Now this secret base from Rock is in a bit of trouble with artillery. Looks like at least one of these factories will die. More tanks coming in as well. But another successful drop here from Rock. These are just tanks on. You really got to start moving them. One bomb did drop. And a successful drop. A factory will be destroyed, plus a lot of mass extractors. Here we see a Celine might actually kill this tank. The tank is focused on the Hydra. That was a great victory for the Celine, with more tanks rolling in. I haven't seen one thing that has gone well for Rock so far. Secret base destroyed. Looks like the bombers took care of that. Those tanks. He does have an engineer in the back. Ganelon has some problems in the back. In the middle, very much an even fight. Still just Tech 1. More transport standing by for Ganelon. Ganelon has both islands. That's an extra 10 mass spots, so definitely significant. Rock trying to crawl his way back, and more tanks just raiding. And Rock forced to send tanks all the way to the back, but the Arties that were dropped off on the island now moving toward the back spot. A lot of unprotected units there. I'll be curious to see when we see some Tech 2 air from either one of the players. Of course, that costs a lot of power. And that really makes all these secret bases much less effective. We do see some Tech 2 land now for Ganelon, also getting some Tech 2 power. We're seeing Ilshevis, Tech 2 engineer making point defenses. It's a very secure position now for Ganelon. Tech 1 land spam through the middle will not work, and actually Ganelon does have a possibility of rolling over Rock. Rock quite low on health and does not have Tech 2. Numbers and tech for Ganelon through the middle. Meanwhile, Ganelon's ACU full health, just walking through the ocean. No weapon for Rock can do anything against that ACU. Rock is now finally in the water. We got a Tech 2 Navy for Ganelon in this ocean. He also has presence in the other ocean. Yeah, and Rock is a very good player. Not really doing that well. We gotta say, it was those early bombers early on that really set the tone, put him in such a big hole. I think it could be that on Settings, here's Tech to air. First bomber is by far the dominant strategy if you can use your bomber well. especially against Seraphim. When they don't have mech marines, they can roll through. You see a lot of Tech 1 bombers from Rock. Let's see what those can do. And another drop coming in. Much arty from Ganelin, minute 15. And cruiser going into the middle. Rock with some Tech 2. He's got Tech 2 on the ACU, Tech 2 point defenses. That cruiser is going to be absolutely brutal. Cruiser in this position will pick off anything that's not protected by TMD. Plus really good air. So any air battles in this position will be really nice. For Ganelin, here comes a Tech 2 drop. May or may not be countered by Rock. Looks like Rock. Yeah, that was nice, very timely. Not really sure how Rock saw that, but maybe they're just moving the interceptors back. And another successful drop. This one's protected by Tech 2 flag. Ganelin, I believe, has almost every single mass extractor. No, he does have every single mass extractor on both islands and on his side of the map. Rolling in with some Tech 2. Rock trying to get some shields up. And now this cruiser. Tech 2 mass extractors for Rock under fire. And a successful drop. So from all different directions, things are going really bad for Rock. Ganelin extremely good on large maps, it seems. That's really a different style of play than the typical Supreme Commander maps and Supreme Commander multiplayer games. Much smaller maps. On large maps like this, you gotta be able to see everything and have really high APM to play something like this, because you got multiple battles everywhere. You got a micro. And Rock now ran over by the force from the middle. No chance for Rock. Extremely well played by Ganelin. Ganelin is gonna take the victory and the whole tourney. So really good game. Hopefully people enjoyed it.